Hi everybody, this is Dr. Cook. I would like to give you some information about the assignment that is actually due tonight and give you a little bit of overview for what is coming up. So let's go into some detail about the assignment that is due today, and that is the revisit of the case study in which you are going to be talking about ethics. So this week you did a couple readings on ethics, and this week what I would like you to do is to refer back to the case study, and you see the questions here about the professional organization. This is related to your case study. So if it is on nutrition, so think about in the United States, what agency would be responsible for governing anything about nutrition? Same thing for ethics. And so you can do a simple Google search that's probably going to come up with more or less the same bodies. I would like you to take it a little bit further though, and if you can think of who in Delaware would be responsible. So we always have organizations at the federal level, but we also have organizations at the local level. And because you are going to be, doing some research, I would like you to make it as local as possible. So if you can find a Delaware agency or the equivalent of this, that would be good. So look at the mission statement. You don't have to actually write everything about the mission statement in there, but keep the mission statement in mind. You're going to build this into your particular answer. Look at those questions carefully, and then I want you to think about the ethical challenges in the workplace that's in the study. So you're not using anything from your own workplace, you're using the study. So what might be some ethical challenges? Now, perhaps none were actually presented in the article, but when you're thinking about genetics, you can actually think of like what might some of the ethical challenges be. So the idea this week is to look at the readings about ethics, to give it a little bit of thought, and then to figure out, well, there are some challenges, there would be some ethical challenges. When you're doing your own research, you need to think of what are some ethical challenges, because you want to avoid these. You don't want to have anything in terms of ethics come into play when you're doing your own research. If there were actual ethical challenges mentioned in your case study, then you would answer what are those ethical challenges? But again, the readings, if there were no ethical challenges in your particular case study, the readings will tell you maybe ways to avoid them. So I really want you just to think about ethics this week and to apply that to your case study. Lastly, this last bullet is seen in the readings. There are governing bodies. Who would be the governing bodies? Federal and state. So that refers back to actually the top here about the governing body and the professional organization. Explain the relationship of the actions or inaction as it or they relate to the mission and the vision. So how would their mission apply to that particular situation? So if, for instance, in education, if Deltec's mission is to get people career ready, well then whoever is overseeing that, if that was the mission, we would want to apply that to, are we really getting people career ready, or are there problems with this? So what is the mission of the governing body, and apply that to your particular case study. So just to get you ready for next week, I want to kind of give you a little preview here, and you can see all the things, you just can't access the actual work. But at the end of next week, or next week, you're going to be talking about your problem. And by the end of next week, you're actually going to have your topic proposal. So I really want you to give some consideration as to whatever field you plan on going into, and trying to figure out maybe some sort of issue or problem that maybe could be solved through some research. I really don't want you to use the case study, but I want you to make this applicable. Since this is a capstone project for the Associate of Arts degree of Science, I do want you to bring in some general science to this. So really try to apply it to whatever job or field you plan on going into. So you're going to be looking through all of the materials next week on ways to research and formulate the problem. There's an article about stages in the research. I have a video on selecting the topic. And then, of course, you will then post and send me a proposal memo for the particular problem. I'm going to be working closely with the science department, and so they're going to be looking at this as well, since this is the capstone project for that degree, and a lot of you do need this class in order to fulfill the graduation requirements. Therefore, I am going to work with the science department. They're going to have a look at it as well to see if these sort of are viable projects that they would approve of. So you're going to get approval from both me and someone from the science department. So please start now. If you haven't already started thinking about it, really this week now, start thinking of some ideas. The deadlines from here on out are non-negotiable. If you don't have your topic selected by the time it's due, then there really is almost no point in continuing with the course. Once you've chosen your topic, you can't change in the middle, because there's too much that we're going to be doing from here on out for you to waver and to change your topic. So make sure you think of something that will be manageable, something on the local level, that nothing major. You're not solving major problems of the world, but again, it should be related to the field in which you plan on going into. So I hope this answers any questions that you have about this week's assignment. If you do have any more questions, email me right away. I will be sending out soon a sign-up. I haven't heard from anybody except one person, so I'm going to put in some times. This is a mandatory session. It'll be in week 5 because we want to talk about the topics, get some feedback from one another, and then this will give us a chance to all discuss and hear what everyone is doing. So I will send out a couple choices for you. Please sign up for one. I'm envisioning that this will probably be about 20 to 30 minutes, but it is a good chance to also meet online live and see how that works. So anytime you have issues this semester, we can also meet that way, because that is my virtual classroom and my virtual office, and I will give you the link for that. So look for some sign-up dates. Again, if you have some times that you really can't do, let me know that. That's probably the easiest way, but I think most of the time will be either in the morning early or in the evening, and hopefully you can sign up for one. All right, so have a great week, and just email me if you have any questions.